What is it like hitting halftime and John Madden sitting next to you? It's his last game.
It turned out to be his last. I didn't know it at the time.
You did not know it at the time.
No, John did not officially retire until April of that year.
So you did not know as you're calling the Super Bowl this was his last. He didn't give you a single indication to it, huh?
No, not really.
Right.
Not really. I mean, I think John had a great year. That was our 7th year together.
Right.
We had the first 4 were at ABC, and then the next 3 were at NBC. No, John was in great spirits. I thought he called a tremendous game. That may have been my favorite game to announce, because what were the Arizona Cardinals doing in the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the next to last week of the season, I think they lost to New England 47-7, and then they get in, and the boss Dick Ebersol, he's going crazy because it's our first Super Bowl at NBC, and he says, I don't want the Cardinals in the game. I said, Dick, relax. A couple doesn't get up on Sunday morning, and the husband says to the wife, Zelda, the Arizona Cardinals are in the Super Bowl. Let's go to the movies. Dick, that's not going to happen. And the rating was great, and the game was tremendous.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I remember, doing that game with NFL Network, as I've been fortunate to do for all these Super Bowls, to host the post-game show. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming down with Marshall Faulk and Deion Sanders and Mariucci and Irv, and we just get out of the elevator to go on the field to get ready for the postgame. And we get out, walking out of the tunnel, just as Larry Fitzgerald is running scot-free towards us. And we were just like, wait a minute, was there a whistle blown? Or what happened? How come there's nobody around him? No, he's took a pass from Warner, touchdown. The Arizona Cardinals are up with mere minutes to go.
About 2.5, yeah.
We could not believe what we were seeing. That was truly unbelievable. But what conversation do you have with John Madden after Harrison takes that ball for a score and you call it with him? It's unbelievable. That was one of the greatest moments, as you say, in the history of the Super Bowl. And you turn to John Madden at halftime, and what's the conversation like?
It was like we were both astonished at what that play was. I mean, there were 3 plays where we could have had a long discussion, but we got a commercial coming on the other side, as you well know.
Right.
We got the Fitzgerald play, and then of course the Santonio Holmes catch. But I remember Bruce Springsteen was halftime. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things that comes into your brain, but I'm getting counted down to the commercial. Mm-hmm. So here are the Cardinals, this big underdog. Why are they here? They're here. They're here. And now the 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and they may become the Super Bowl champions. And it popped into my head, but it was too late to get it out. What I wanted to say was the Arizona Cardinals just asked Bruce Springsteen to come back out and play No Surrender.
Look at you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You saw a cutting room floor garbage, right?
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Bruce Springsteen and the Owl Street Band. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool right there. Oh, man.
One step too late.
One step too late.
Yeah.
But I'm just, again, I can't get enough of Madden. The times that I was around him, fortunate, just I just was never really crossing paths with him enough over the years. The one time that I really did was when he got in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And I got to interview him, and he and Mariucci are tight.
Sure.
And so Mooch was the analyst that week. It was the 2006 class, I believe. Aikman went in with him as well. And I just remember he was just on cloud 9 the entire weekend.
No question.
That weekend.
John, and I've talked about this in the past, John was a very special man because a lot of people look at him and, they see him bursting through the set on the Miller Lite commercials,
right?
The telestrator going back and forth, the sounds, the doinks, and the whole thing. John was a very well-read, fascinating man. And in all of the years I worked with him, 7 years, and that would lead to at least 150 or so dinners. We talked maybe a quarter of the dinner about football and the rest of the time about the rest of the world. John was interested in everything. He was a fascinating conversationalist, extremely well-read. And look, I got unbelievably lucky. I had 7 with him, and I had 13 with Collinsworth coming off of that. That's a pretty good 2-decade run, I got to tell you.
No doubt about it. And I think about his way of speaking is unparalleled to communicate the way that he was able to communicate with anybody, with any walk of life. But the way he would just see the world and be able to simplify it and boil it down in a way that makes you think, unparalleled. And I think about him every time I go back to Canton about the busts talking to each other when the lights go out at night. It really was one of the most amazing analogies to talk about the immortality of the moment, but also how cool it is, and how sort of humbled it makes you that you would have a conversation with anybody in that bus gallery and you would want to be a fly on that wall, man. You know, it blew me away when he said that in his speech.
I look at him, Rich, and I'm going to put him in a category of as important as anybody in the history of professional football. I don't want to go 1, 2, 3, but I'm just saying as important. Why? He's a coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I think he still has the highest winning percentage of any coach ever. Broadcaster, created a new template. Video game.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Think about that. Those are 3 different genres, and John was spectacular at all of them. How many people can say that?
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.